Hey dude, sorry I'm a little bit late with this one, just been going through some personal stuff. You guys on Facebook know what I mean, but if you don't, then don't worry about it. Anyway, let's go! Phase 3! For the win! Let's do it, guys! So, first off, the Ogre comes back again. Zidane's BSB. Quite interesting stuff here. Mug power and mug defense. Anyway, deals 6 range physical wind attacks to all targets, temporarily lower their wind resistance. Wind Imperial, we all know this. Is it good? Well, depends if you have a lot of wind abilities. Could be pretty good in conjunction with Bart's BSB, of course, because he has secondary wind attacks too. So that'll be a pretty good double whammy to have. Burst abilities, attack large amounts, lowering attack large amounts and raise the attack large amounts. So yep, we all know what that is, steel power, and same with steel defense. Definitely pretty good at sub abilities, because Zidane's a thief, so obviously having these abilities is a good add-on, allowing to like not really having to bring additional steel power and steel everything abilities, but also I would probably equip Zidane with something like, I don't think Zidane can use Life Siphon, but if he can, then of course Life Siphon, but if not, then I'd equip him with like something like Ace Striker to increase his Soul Break gauge even more, well, even faster. Definitely using these secondary abilities is the way to go. Thief's Knife, so this is a new one, which looks pretty damn cool, right? 118 attack, deal 5 physical, fire and holy attacks to all targets, pretty interesting. Temporarily lower their fire resistance and grant haste and burst mode to the user. This is pretty interesting. Let's see the burst abilities. I actually haven't seen this, so this is the first time for me looking at these ones as well. Deal physical damage to one target, temporarily lower its attack and magic a small amounts, and temporarily raise the user's attack and magic a small amounts. Magic, fairly interesting, but I guess he can use the bloody, what is it called? Stuff, the scrolls. Attack and magic, so it kind of reminds me of Tyro's BSB, except it's a steel version of that. Incredibly interesting, but I guess it will stack with quite a lot of stuff. I believe this buff up is a 20% each buff, so pretty okay buff, but yeah, pretty iffy, right? And the next secondary ability is fairly interesting as well. Deal 4 physical, fire, and holy attacks to one target, so you'll pretty much use like one after the other type thing. Pretty interesting for Locke. I kind of like his SSB a lot better than this. This seems very weird. Very weird abilities. Artemis Bow, this also makes a return, so Faris's BSB. 112 attack, deal 5 ranged physical attacks to one target, temporarily lower its attack, magic, defense, and resistance to large amounts, so a full breakdown pretty much. And burst abilities, I keep forgetting, because I have this BSB, but I keep forgetting what these burst abilities do, because when you look at, say, Thief's Knife, it's pretty straightforward, mug weapon, and then we have the Ogre mug power, mug defense, but when you look at these ones, it's like Deluge and Rough Tide, so you're like, what the hell? So the first one is deal range physical damage to one target, temporarily lower its magic a large amount, second one is attack a large amount. So one target is a little bit iffy, but hey, even this one's to one target. Definitely a really good BSB, get a lot of breakdowns for a support character. Dealing a lot of good damage and reducing, yeah, attack and magic. Can't really go wrong with that, really, right? Okay, Apocalypse, next one. This one's another interesting one. 124 attack. Deal 4 ranged physical attacks to all targets, grant haste to all allies. A few of you may feel a little bit iffy with this one because you have like Mighty Guard and stuff, but these type of SSBs become a lot better in the long run because they're physical attackers, right? So having this secondary ability can be good because later on there's going to be relics which actually increase stats, say like defense, attack, and magic, but they don't give any haste dagger, and haste dagger is probably the biggest priority. Major Region is also a pretty good addition. That's why I like Gilgamesh's SSB as well. Same with Air Knives as well. It does the exact same thing. 116 attack, and also gives a little bit of magic for the scrolls. Deal 4 physical wind attacks to all targets. That could be pretty good in conjunction with the Zidane's BSB as well. And also grant haste to all allies. So this is really good too. As a dagger too, it's a pretty sexy dagger, and I like Thancred as a character too. He's pretty sexy. Physician Staff. This one's pretty interesting if you like Vanille. This is probably one of her strongest, if not the strongest, relics that she has at the moment. Magic 100, Mind 119. She does have an AoE heal, which I have, which is a normal Sword Break, so I kind of didn't like this one. Because it's like, if you have another one which is a Cura AoE, like Curaga isn't really going to make much of a difference anyway. But this one's restore a large amount of HP and one ability to use to all allies. So, yeah, I kind of feel a little bit iffy on this one. Of course, you would use it eventually, say in like moat dungeons where you're actually getting down hones, especially with 5-star abilities, especially if you're a new player, of course. You may not have very good hones with 5-star abilities. Bonus, adds small boost to holy damage. You may also use that with like Diaga and stuff, so that's also pretty good. So Fire Lash, this one is pretty fucking awesome, as we all know. I reviewed this one already. Grant haste in a major region to all allies and temporarily raise their magic a moderate amounts. Can't really go wrong with this one with the mage party, because it's probably the strongest mage buff we'll have for quite a long time. 30%, isn't it? I think so. Yeah, 30% magic up. Crystal Cross. This one's actually pretty decent too. Attack 1110. Instantly deal. Instantly meaning like you'll use it straight away if you don't know. 3 range physical attacks to all targets and enable each ally to avoid 1 physical attack. Man, Yuffie is pretty fucking cool, but unfortunately she can't use the Life Siphon yet, I believe, so that's kind of a bummer because she has an AoE heal instant, and this, to avoid 1 physical attack instant, that goes pretty fucking well. Pretty fucking well. I would rate that pretty highly as well. Okay, healing stuff. This one is also pretty good because it's instant, because mainly you're just waiting for an AoE heal, and if you don't get that AoE heal straight away, then you're pretty fucking screwed. So having this one is pretty fucking cool too. Mingwu. I don't really like him as a character though, because I'm not really familiar with Final Fantasy 2. If you're not really familiar with a Final Fantasy, you kind of tend not to like the characters, obviously. Pretty good ratio of stats though, and I wouldn't be unhappy if I got that anyway. Anyway, would I draw for this banner if I was a new player? Yeah, I would draw for this. I would draw for it if I had 50 Mithril, for sure. I reckon it's a pretty strong banner. There's a lot of relics which you would use in the long run too, and fairly confident if I had 1 or 2 of these banners, say if I had like Faris's one, well I do have Faris's one and Zack's SSB, I probably wouldn't take the risk. But otherwise, it is a fairly strong banner. Of course, the longer you save, the better relics you'll have. But hey, if you're struggling with the content so far, I would definitely draw for this one, because support abilities, you can't have enough of them really. And I remember coming early into this game, I was struggling with breakdowns and stuff, struggling with honing breakdowns, so having Faris's one will definitely pull you into the game like so far ahead. It's fucking crazy. Even Thief's Knife and the Ogre, definitely really cool to have if you have Mako Might too. So I'll definitely draw for this one. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Hope you have a good one, and see you guys later. Peace.